Can a person living in a prison cell create an object of beauty? Acts of Art continues.
Because people got the chance to really tell their stories. And there's something that's the whole concept that I really treasure. That's really what the power of theater, it's the power of telling the story of prisoners, the power of telling the story of people on death row.
Come on, Willie, we ain't
It's the force of the story is what is the actual creating force in people's lives.
Pal, I'm really surprised to see you in here. It wasn't no more than 6 days ago I saw you out in the club in the hood.
And just hearing the stories of the people that I lived with, that you don't sit around and tell each other all that stuff. It's the kind of really deep soul stuff that comes out when you're working in a group and when you're working together and when you're putting together a collaboration.
Soon, all of Buzz's classes were heading to prison, and the Prison Creative Arts Project was born. Hundreds of students became involved in creative workshops as the program grew within the prison system and the university.
Oh, this is the Sudan one.
In 1995, Janie moved to Ann Arbor to teach at the university and to be with Buzz.
Right away, pretty much that spring, I think, Buzz hooked me into doing an art workshop with the men he was working with at Western Wayne, which is a prison. And he was pretty tricky. He invited me to come in and show my slides to the guys in his workshop, which I did, and it was a fabulous experience. I showed my slides, and it was the best audience, one of the best audiences I've ever had. And then, of course, at the end of the night, they asked me if I would do an art workshop with them, and which I'm sure was Buzz's intention. And then, of course, I said I would.
With Janie's art background, it seemed logical to expand the program to the visual arts. They sent out a mailing to prisons within 200 miles announcing an exhibition.
We were blown away by the response, by the art we saw that was already being done. It was a great first show, and we knew we'd found something.
The art exhibit served a purpose that the theater workshops could not, by creating a means of communication between inside and out.
It reaffirms your belief in the imagination, because if you're locked in a cell, you're living basically in a cell that's hardly bigger than your bed. You have a bunk mate. It's always noisy. There's no privacy. Maybe the only time you can do your artwork is sitting on your bunk late at night. How you go from that to creating a painting that's a beautiful landscape, or an abstract design that just comes up out of you. I sometimes think of it as like we all do, all artists do that. I'm doing that here in my studio. But the conditions in prison are so extreme that sometimes I picture it like it's being squeezed out. It's like it's so extreme that it has to come out. It's that much more intense.